beautiful day to you, and thank you for joining us on a new episode of the Women Series, where we capture developments and stories that impact women. My name is Ayomide Oguntoye. Now, over the last few weeks, we've had to focus on the political activities, which of course will lead to the 2023 elections. Interesting times, I must say. Now, today we are moving away from that to focus on tech, and the part of tech will be the educational part, and that's what is called, call it EdTech. Today we want to talk about how EdTech is improving access to the girl-child education. I have with me the CEO of Teesas, Osayi Izedonmwen, joining me virtually. Hello, Osayi. How are you doing today?
Hi, Ayomide. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm fine. And how are you finding this interesting times, considering the fact that this is the political season going on?
Well, it's interesting. It's great to see the higher rate of youth awareness and involvement in the political process. So I think next year is going to be very interesting as we go to the polls.
Yeah, definitely. I hope you have your PVC. You've gotten your PVC.
Oh, yes, I do.
Interesting. That's good. That's good. And also, for context, Teesas is an African-focused edtech app delivering groundbreaking educational content in local and national languages. And this content is designed in line with the Nigerian educational curriculum. Just like I said earlier today, we're talking about how edtech is improving access to the girl-child education. Osayi, let's quickly go straight to the question for today. Now, EdTech has come with a mission to liberalize access to education in Nigeria and Africa. Can you share with us how this is possible, considering the Nigeria's out of school children population, which of course is stemming around 11 million?
Thank you, Ayomide. That's a really great question. The problem is significant. Like you rightly pointed out, we've become one of the countries with the highest number of out of school children. And even with that base problem, we also have another problem brewing. Only 2 out of 3 children that start off in the primary school end that process. So it just keeps worsening as the years go on. Now, what EdTech can do is really to leapfrog some of the societal and economic barriers to bring education to these underserved children. We're talking about children that otherwise will not have access to classroom education because of either insecurity, poverty, or some other kind of issues. But this solution requires very strong collaboration among key stakeholders. And when I mean stakeholders, I mean even the governments, leaders of subnationals, state governments, can collaborate with edtech platforms to bring low-cost solutions to children that are out of school. So think of a child that is somewhere in Borno State today, impacted by the Boko Haram menace and cannot go to school. That same child with a tablet that has educational content like those that come from Teesas pre-installed, that child can continue their learning journey, even though they can't go to a physical classroom. To enable that process requires very strong collaboration, like I said earlier. And I think if the right stakeholders focus and understand on the importance of technology as an enabler to resolving this issue, then we can make some significant headway.
Right, collaboration is the key word here, and I hope that political aspirants that are running for political positions in 2023 can key into this and add that to their manifesto. That's like giving them a hint anyway. But recently, you were named among the top 5 Morgan Stanley 2022 Sustainable Solutions Collaborative Cohort funding. Now, how has this helped in scaling up operations at Teesas?
The collaborative grant from Morgan Stanley is something that we're very proud of. We were the only African company selected for that grant and the only EdTech ever selected for that grant as well. And it speaks to the quality of our strategies, speaks to the impact that we're seeking to make. Now, as for how we use that grant, it's consistent with what we laid out as our long-term growth strategy, which is one, to hire the best and the brightest. So we're going to be able to hire more people. We're also going to be able to enhance the quality of our content, meaning we can do more engaging videos, highly animated videos, indigenously adapted to deliver content that would excite and engage children across Africa. It will also help us scale across other geographical regions. So today we're primarily focused across Nigeria and some other West African countries. We think that with this brand, we can increase our footprint and reach other African countries as well.
That's love, like spreading your tentacles across Africa. That's interesting. Now, so from your perspective, how important is the girl child education and how is the organization positioning its service to also support the girl child education, which of course we know that is very important considering the burden of illiteracy that a lot of women face in Nigeria?
I mean, educating the girl child is so fundamental to enhance economic outcomes, particularly in developing countries.
Yeah.
Recently, Citibank research indicated that $1 investment in girl child education yields returns of about $2.8 in terms of GDP growth. So to put that in perspective, it means that if you invest 500 naira in girl child education in Nigeria, it will return 1,400 naira in enhanced GDP growth. So it is important, and not just from an economic standpoint, from a social standpoint. A better educated girl, right, will not want to get married as a teenager. A better educated girl would want to enhance her education and economic well-being. So what that does for you in the long run is it reduces maternal mortality rates, reduces stunted child development, reduces early childhood growth, stunting. Now, for us as a business, what we've done, and it's core to our proposition as an impact-driven organization, is to really focus our offerings on the girl child. For example, the Teesas Donate program, which is a program where we encourage individuals to send in their used and damaged tablets to us. We refurbish the tablets, and then we add on our educational content to those tablets for free and distribute it to orphanages, displaced people's homes across the country. It's an exciting program, but the reality is we're giving preference to girl child orphanages and displaced people camps across the country. That is one way that we're focusing on enhancing equality for the girl child from an educational perspective. Also, within our teams, we have in our leadership team, we've got about 52% of them are women. Our tutors are, maybe 80% of them are women. We believe that bringing more women into the organization also gives a sense of inspiration to other young girls out there. As they watch those tutors and they see women teaching them, it gives them a sense of belonging, that I too can someday be a tutor. I too can do more with my life than just sitting at home and doing domestic duties. So there are several ways that we're tackling the problem from our own perspective.
I love that. I love that you're tackling that even from the teacher's angle. I was going to ask about the teacher rate when it comes to the ratio of having women as teachers as well. But you've kind of summed up and answered the question as well. How about let's look at the scholarship angle. Is Teesas looking at providing scholarships to pre-teenagers between 10 to 12? Let's just put it that way. And do you have a priority for the girl child? I mean, you've talked about that, but do you have other priorities for the girl child?
Yeah, for us, just because we understand the impact of educating the girl child, we naturally give preference to girl child education. We may not have a scholarship program per se because our product is a digital product, but what we do, like I earlier highlighted, is as we mature and progress the Teesas Donate program, we give preference to orphanages and organizations that are predominantly focused on girl child education. That way, we believe that we can continue in our own small way to reduce the gender equality gap with respect to educating the girl child.
That's interesting. Are there new programs or new features we should be expecting from Teesas?
Oh, absolutely. A couple of new products. One of which is the secondary school entrance exams product. That product will take questions from some of the top secondary schools across the land and break it down using quality tutors enhanced animation, to give the children tips and tricks on how to tackle those questions. What that will do will enhance the confidence, enhance the pass rate into those top secondary schools, and of course, give parents rest of mind that they've got a product that will help their children truly pass entrance exams into those top schools in flying colors. We're bringing that to the market in a couple of weeks. We also have other products in the pipeline. I wouldn't want to disclose them yet until we mature them, but clearly we have plans to really deliver robust and exciting products to the market soon.
Right, that's interesting. I mean, I loved the fact that Teesas is out there to bring solutions to problems that's regarding the educational sector. And of course, you're also helping to solve the unemployment gap, bringing education very close to the child or whoever that doesn't have access to education. That's interesting to note. Thank you very much, Osayi. It was great speaking with you.
Thank you, Ayomide. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And we hope that when next we call you, would oblige us.
I sure will.
Thank you very much. And that will be all for this edition of the Women Series. I hope you learned one thing or two. Please do not forget to get your PVC if you haven't. Follow us on all our social media platforms showing on the screen. If you'd like to read more about our news stories and watch our videos, log on to www.proshare.co. You'd like to send a mail to me, send the mail to ayomide.oguntoye@proshare.co. And until next time, thank you for watching.